Dr. Akers, thank you so much for joining us today to discuss this. Look, there's a fairness issue in all of this that I think Americans are looking at going, if I'm a parent and I have saved for years and years and years to send my kid to college, then it is patently unfair for somebody to just completely have their student debt wiped out. This is true for thousands of families. What about even folks that I know, my own children, that have taken out student loans that have worked very hard to pay those back? That their colleagues would essentially get a leg up because they would have their debt forgiven. This is patently unfair. I want to thank my colleague from Tennessee, Mr. Kustoff, for bringing up the challenge that he did and the question that he did about what is the administration's authority on this. Clearly, revenue bills and things that deal with taxes wind up originating in the Ways and Means Committee. And I would have to think that we would need a robust discussion to determine the tax implications of what we're doing. You've got provisions in the American Rescue Plan that have dealt with making student loans, forgiving the tax on that. That's something that our committee should be engaged in, not the administration. So again, to my colleague from Tennessee, thank you for raising that in question, because I don't think that they have the authority to do this. If they can do this with student loans, what could they do with other federally backed programs? Could they forgive debt on, in the banking system? It opens Pandora's box. So I think that's a real issue as well. We've got a bill that we've introduced, HR 8006, the Student Loan Accountability Act, that would prohibit the Department of Education and the Department of Treasury from taking action to cancel these student loans. And again, for many of the reasons that we've articulated. But we know that there are certain student loans that can be forgiven, and we wouldn't address those because those promises and those contracts need to be upheld. But the other piece of this is that we need to realize that this is another way for the administration to go into the IRS and get information about individuals' tax accounts. And tax records, because if the Department of Ed is going to execute this problem, they're going to have to go get information from the Treasury. The Treasury is going to have to turn over certain tax information to the Department of Ed, and we see that as a violation of the law on its face as well. So with that, again, I just want to thank you for sharing information here. But when you get down into this, what is your biggest concern? When you look at this, what's the biggest concern for the nation regarding this issue?
My sense is that we are seriously at risk of undermining the entire system of higher education finance in this country. So we're already on unsteady ground with tuition levels rising at a pace that is faster than inflation in any other segment of the economy. Only pushing that further and undermining the credibility of contracts in the federal student loan program, I think, would require us to completely overhaul what we have in place. And this is a quick fix that would only break the system worse than it already is broken.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I will yield back.